and welcome. Thank you to the administrative team for being here tonight. I appreciate your leadership that you bring to the district, and in particular tonight to the work on our goals. I want to begin by framing the work in a larger context. Our strategic plan is based on the district's beliefs, mission, objectives, and strategies. Our mission outlines what we want for our students. We want them to be lifelong learners, dynamic thinkers, and compassionate, contributing citizens. In addition to that, our mission outlines the type of learning community that we're looking to build these lifelong learners, dynamic thinkers, and compassionate, contributing citizens in. We're looking to provide academic programs where depth of understanding, creativity, and critical reasoning flourish, a safe, supportive environment of respect and collaboration, allowing exploration of individual passions and celebrating those accomplishments, and finally, leadership and service. In addition to our mission, I wanted to outline the 6 strategies in our strategic plan. These include leadership, which is inclusive of providing a learning environment for our adults and ensuring that they have developmentally appropriate and responsive pedagogical practices. In addition to leadership, we have curriculum. I highlighted something new, the ADAPT curriculum that's going to promote differentiated instruction and future-ready students, because this is going to feed into what we're going to talk about in relationship to the goals. Wellness is a 3rd strategy, which focuses on emotional and social and physical wellness factors that support our students. We also have a strategy on communication, which involves engaging the home and school and community in communications with one another. Our 5th strategy is infrastructure and resources, which talks about utilizing our resources to ensure that we have a safe, collaborative, and flexible environment for learning. And finally, we look at partnerships, which we'll certainly come back to in terms of developing new, nurturing old partnerships so that we can continue to expand learning opportunities. The mission and the strategies are 2 of the foundational pieces that we build our annual goals on. The annual goals allow us to have focus and alignment of resources. And I wanted to point out, of these, I really think that time is the most precious commodity that we have in terms of resources. And it really allows us to make gains in leverageable areas. As you recall, we borrowed from the research of McChesney, Covey, and Huling on developing wildly important goals where we actually concentrate our efforts in leverageable areas that are going to make the most impact. I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate the achievements that we were able to have last year with this goal structure in place. We talked all of the time about safety last year. It was the district goal, it was the superintendent's goal. Everybody worked on safety, and we made tremendous gains in this area over the course of the 22-23 school year. At BRS, they worked on writing units. At the middle school, it was around differentiation. The high school was around communication skills, and in special education, it was around timely evaluations. In athletics, it was around providing leadership experiences to sustain the whole child. In technology, we used 2 tech tools in the areas of observation and professional learning. In facilities, we worked on the middle school HVAC project, and the business office, we created redundancies through the procedural manual. And the Board of Education, as you know, engaged in 2 rigorous cycles of policy review during the course of last year. I have to take a pause. This is a lot of work that was done across 10 areas last year. Of course, that was impressive. In this quick review, you can see that the structure allowed us to be very successful in achieving unprecedented results. I give you that context because we're going to utilize that structure again in our areas of focus for the 23-24 school year. In particular, we've identified areas within 2 departments, special education continuum with the use of ICT as a new strategy, K-8, and curriculum writing. So I'll begin by talking about the 2 department goals. The first is around athletics. The athletic goal is really around changing climate and culture, which, as you know, doesn't happen overnight. The athletic department will continue to focus on the whole child and use programs such as Inside Out to continue to support the development of the entire student-athlete experience. In facilities, we are in the middle of the middle school HVAC project. So our facilities department will continue to focus on making sure that they are doing everything in their power to have this project completed by September of 2024. So in addition to the departments, I wanted to talk about the next 2 areas, which are really K-12 areas of focus. So the first one is taking a look at these 2 as they align to the strategies. Both of these K-12 areas of focus cover 5, really pretty heavily, 5 out of the 6 strategies within the strategic plan. Integrated co-teaching is something that we already use in our high school, and we're looking to introduce it in K-8. Integrated co-teaching, also known as ICT for short, is when you put students with disabilities along with general education students in a classroom together to learn with the expertise of a general education teacher along with a special education teacher. Right now, as I said, we have ICT 9 through 12. We do not offer this, and that's why it's in yellow on the screen. And I think we do not offer it K-8, and we are looking to, based on student needs and staffing, offer ICT K-8. So this really provides the rationale, because right now we have, this is the continuum in Pleasantville. We offer from D-class to related service to consultant teacher to resource room, and then we go to modified and special programs. So this will allow us another opportunity, again, based on student needs and staffing, for support for students that are identified. Let's talk a little bit about where we've come so far with this work. In preparation for 23-24 annual review, which happens in the winter of 2023, we took a look at what our students' needs were and what services could look like in this current school year. And we really decided at that point that based on needs and staffing, we would be interested in adding K-8 to the continuum for the 24-25 school year. So once that happened, we drafted a proposal for professional learning in this area. We contracted with a service provider, and we met at the end of the last school year with our administrative team, certain psychologists, and our curriculum coordinators with the service provider to talk about what this could look like in this coming school year in terms of training. And we built the kind of like ICT 101 that was introduced. So all of the staff received training between August 31st and September 1 around what is ICT. We just really felt it was important to provide foundational knowledge for the entire staff as we were bringing this in.
Can I ask
So that's what, yes.
Next question. Of course, I looked up CMDI. They look amazing.
Yes.
That's so great. will they do it with, I'm sure there's going to be like some follow-up, just 2 days is, you know, over the course of the
We
year.
have contracted with them for the course of the school year.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes. So that brings me actually to what will be done going forward, Emily, which relates to your question. We're going to continue to provide training. Again, the conference days were just our foundational level knowledge, like ICT 101, if you will, for everyone. Our training is planned over the course of the year. And it is differentiated because the high school is already doing this. So theirs is about a coaching model, and they'll have different needs as it will look than will the K-8 staff. We will do the same thing we did last year. We will engage in analysis of what the student needs are and what our staffing needs are. And we will look at our building schedules and see where and how we can accommodate this. We will be communicating with our families about this. And we will start the annual review season on February 1st based on all of this work. So when you look at this, there's really kind of a couple of benchmarks here. The first is by the end of January that we have built the continuum for how we could sustain this and where we could sustain it in K-8 for the 24-25 school year. We'll continue training throughout the year. I think, you know, the intricacies in special education, the ongoing changing needs of students, people working in a different way in collaboration in a classroom together. So the training will evolve over the course of the year. For 9-12, there'll be the 4 core content areas will each receive and undergo coaching each quarter of the school year. So I want to transition now to looking at our curriculum writing work and really kind of breaking down our why for this work. The first is really a need to systematize our curricular work. There are several reasons for why we want to do this. One is really to provide access to teachers. We have people that are coming in on leaves, we have people that retire, we have people that go out for several different reasons, and really providing access to our curriculum for all these different types of scenarios is really important. That also provides an opportunity for equity to students, where when you have your curriculum articulated, it really gives everyone the same access to the curriculum. As you know, the state is always changing standards, so it's always important to keep up with changing standards, and with that becomes changing test content and formats. Whether it's computer-based tests, tests are happening in different grade levels, and they align with different standards, so there's that reason as well. There's also changing student needs. We've talked a lot about the increase in the social and emotional needs of students in wellness initiatives and efforts to make sure that our students have physical, mental, emotional, and social wellness pieces. So really meeting the changing student needs. We've also had a tremendous shift in technology usage that needs to be reflected in how we're teaching, what we're teaching, as well as New York State has SEL benchmarks, which are inclusive of DEIA principles. This curriculum writing work is really, along with the ICT work, a tremendous opportunity for us to reflect on where we are as educators, as departments, as an educational system, and really, again, provide just like a systemized approach to what we want to do. Take a look at what we're doing, think about why we're doing it, and then look at our results in an ongoing fashion. So what has been done so far in relationship to curriculum writing is back in May, we actually had a meeting, a curriculum council meeting, which it was inclusive of administrators, curriculum coordinators, department chair people, grade level leaders, and just other, teacher leaders in curriculum all came together. We talked about this work. We developed what would be inclusive in a Pleasantville scope and sequence and what would be inclusive in a Pleasantville unit plan. From there, we used our superintendent's conference day at the end of the school year and gave teachers the opportunity to create scope and sequences. From there, we had summer curriculum writing projects, and this was really a great opportunity for us, for people to engage in using those tools that were created, really provide us with feedback. We were able to look at their work products and really refine needs and next steps based on some of that intermediary work. From there, over the summer, our PD committee met, and then we created something in between the scope and sequence and the unit plan, which we're calling our curriculum maps. And since then, we've used our superintendent's conference days. We've already had a faculty meeting. And during these times, we've introduced work to try to understand and to continue the work that had originally taken place and has come over the course and the rationale. We've looked at the rationale in terms of why are we doing this work, what are their needs as professionals for engaging in this work, and really try to help develop a common language. So while it's been going on since May, it's still in very different places for different grade levels, at different subject areas, and different departments, et cetera. So what we're looking to accomplish in curriculum writing is really, this is a long haul for this work. Some might say that this is ongoing and never-ending work, that you should always be engaging in the curriculum review cycles. But we really want to use our time, as I said, our most precious commodity here during our conference days and our extended days and our faculty meetings and our department meetings to do as much of this work as we can. Again, if you look at that 80-20, concentrated time and energy and resources is really what allows us to do this. So having singular focuses is really important for us. And at the end of this year, we want to have a scope and sequence completed for all courses taught in Pleasantville. And I think that that is a baseline for where we want to end the year. We have departments in all different places. I was at the middle school for their faculty meeting where they were broken up in different departments, and there was no department in the same place with this work at this time. So it's really about honoring where they are and their journey to get there, and at minimum having a scope and sequence for every course that's taught in Pleasantville. And as I said, some departments, grade levels, content areas, will be moving on to developing curriculum maps on select courses, and some, because of work that they engaged in predominantly over the summer, have some unit plan drafts already done. So we're in a great place with our curriculum writing, and really with advancing both of these K-12 goals. And as I said, the athletic work and the facilities work is already underway as well. So I like to end, because yes, I do have a little sense of adventure in me, but I really feel that this structure of creating annual goals aligned to our strategies and our mission and our objectives and there's something else in there, I'm sorry, really, again, just helps us focus our energy so that we can have results that allow us to do really unprecedented work. And I really took that opportunity to share all of the work from last year, because we've seen through that evidence that this has worked, and I'm confident that it will work again and that we will continue to have lasting improvements on our district. I think our areas of focus are completely spot on to support all of the learners in our district. So I'm proud to be here and present these goals, proud of our administrative team, proud of our curriculum coordinators that have been really just serving as a critical role for us in this work, and thank you to you guys for allowing us to do this great work on behalf of kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.